Hello children, I am here with the video for the student of class 6, subject bio. This is chapter number 2 of your bio book, science book, components of food. Components of food. So in this chapter we are going to learn why do we need food? What does food contain to make our body healthy? What are the various kinds of components of food? What are the roles of these components and what are the sources of these components? What is a balanced diet? How does it keep us healthy? What happens when your food is deficient? Deficient means it lacks in one of these nutrients. So I would suggest children, please keep your pencil along with you so that you could underline and note down the important topics by pausing the video. Let's get started. In the previous chapter, we have discussed that food provides us energy to work and to play. It is the food that helps us to grow and also enable us to fight against the diseases. It also helps to repair the wounds. Do you think all types of food perform all these functions for us? No. There are different types of food performing different functions for us. So have you ever wondered what is inside the food that does so many wonderful things for us? Means what does the food contains which actually do such a wonderful thing for our body? Which gives us energy, which help us to grow, which help us to fight against the diseases. Now in this chapter, we will discuss about this. Various components of food. The food contains special components called nutrients. Yes children. The various chemical substances that are present in the food, these are the special components and these are called nutrients. It is the nutrients only children which help us to grow, which provides us energy to work and play. It helps us to fight against the diseases. Every time we eat a kind of food, certain type of nutrients enter our body. It is because of the food we are taking, it is because of the food we are eating, certain types of nutrients enter our body. These nutrients can be categorized into following classes: carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, water and roughages. Different food contains different nutrients. All the nutrients cannot be present in one kind of food. So let us now read about the first component of the food, that is carbohydrate, the nutrient of the food. This is carbohydrates. Here is an example given. A car or any vehicle requires fuel to run. Similarly, carbohydrates are most essentially needed by our body. Carbohydrates are easily digestible, means which are digested by our body very easily. This mixes with the blood very easily. They provide energy to our body so that we are able to perform various activities. Carbohydrates are called energy giving food. They are the primary source of energy. Carbohydrates. Sugar and starch are two major types of carbohydrates in our sources. Sugar is present in fruits like apple, oranges, mango, etc., milk, honey and sugar cane. Starch is present in potato, rice and wheat. Corn or maize is also starch-rich cereal. The excess amount of sugar in our blood results into a disease called diabetes. In India, is called the capital of diabetes patients. because here the number of diabetic patients is too much high. That's why India is called the capital of diabetes patients. Here is some information provided to you. Glucose. It is the simple carbohydrate which directly enters into the blood and produces energy through respiration. It is an instant source of energy. Glucose. That is why when you drink glucose mixed in water during summer season, you quickly feel refreshed and energized, because it is the most simple form of carbohydrate which directly enters into the blood. It does not go through the various processes of digestion, and it mixes quickly into the blood to release energy through respiration. Fructose. It is also a simple carbohydrate. It is found in fruits. It's a kind of carbohydrate. Sucrose. It is a table sugar which we use in our home. It is made up of glucose and fructose. Table sugar means the sugar which we use in preparing tea and various other dishes. This is a table sugar. And this sucrose is made up of glucose and fructose. Lactose. It is a kind of carbohydrate which is found in milk. Maltose. It is found in wheat. It is a kind of carbohydrate which is found in wheat. Sucrose, lactose and maltose are disaccharides, while glucose and fructose are monosaccharides. Disaccharides means there is two molecules of sugar, and glucose and fructose are monosaccharides, means there are simple sugars which easily mix with the blood and produces instant energy. Next is the activity. It is the activity to taste the presence of starch. Starch is a form of carbohydrate. Take a small quantity of the food requirements. What are the things needed to perform this activity are small quantity of food item like the bread or the potato. These are rich sources of starch, and a dilute iodine solution. These are the things required to perform this activity. Preparation of iodine solution. How do we prepare the iodine solution? Add a few drops of tincture iodine to a test tube half filled with water. Tincture means the concentrated iodine. To a test tube which is half filled with water. Now let's perform the procedure. Take a small quantity of food item or raw ingredients such as potato slices or bread slices. Put 2-3 drops of dilute iodine solution on it. This is the test tube. Here it is taken the pieces of bread and 2-3 drops of iodine solution has been added to the test tube. Observation. Observe if there any change in the color of the food item as soon as the iodine solution is added to the food item. Suppose we have taken the pieces of bread here. You have to observe whether there is any change in the color of food item. If there is a change, if the food item turns into blue and blue-black, means the color of the food item changes to blue-black, this indicates that it contains starch. This is the iodine test for testing starch. Means when you have to test the presence of starch, it is a form of carbohydrate. You use this activity, and requirement is the dilute iodine solution. So when dilute iodine solution is added to the food items rich in starch, its color changes to blue-black. This indicates the presence of starch in that particular food item. Next we have proteins. About 1/5 of our body is made up of proteins. Proteins are the complex organic compounds made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur. As you can see, so much compounds. It is made up of too many organic substances. Inorganic substances like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur. Because of the mixture of these inorganic substances, it is known as compound. They help in body growth, tissue repair, digestion, etc. Proteins make new cells replace old and damaged cells. They help in body growth. Help in body growth means They help our body to increase in its height. You know, you must have seen some children, they are not able to attain a good average height. This indicates the deficiency of protein in their diet. That is why it is recommended that growing children, you people are in your growth stage, so the growing children should take more food items rich in proteins, which help them to attain a good average height. Proteins make new cells. Whenever you get a cut or wound, after a few days you see that the wound has been healed. A new skin has come and healed that wound. This happens because of proteins, as proteins help in the formation of new cells. It replaces the old and damaged cells. As I have said, children, that the growing children require to intake food items rich in proteins, because so as they could attain a good average height. It is also essential for old and sick people to get quick recovery. Hence, proteins are known as bodybuilding foods. Carbohydrates provide energy to our body. That's why carbohydrates are known as energy giving foods. Means the food items rich in carbohydrates are known as energy giving food items. And protein helps our body to grow. Protein helps to replace the old and damaged cell. It helps in the formation of new cells. Therefore, proteins are known as bodybuilding foods. Means the food items rich in proteins are known as bodybuilding food. In addition to carbohydrates, proteins also give us energy only in the absence of carbohydrates and fats. Carbohydrates and fats are the main source of energy in our body, but if our diet is lacking carbohydrates and fat, energy to some extent will also be provided by the proteins. So it is also known as tertiary source of energy. Tertiary means secondary source of energy. Not so essential, not so important, but it could provide energy to some extent. We get proteins from animals as well as from plants. Now let us read about the sources of protein. Animal sources: meat, egg, fish, milk and cheese. All these food items are rich source of protein. From plant we get protein from peanuts, soya bean, peas, barley, wheat, corn, pulses, dry fruits, etc. All these are rich source of protein. There is an information. Protein in our body are made up to 20 different standard amino acids. Out of 20 amino acids, 10 are essential amino acids, while 10 are non-essential amino acids. Amino acids are produced inside our body. Aloe vera and ladyfinger contain all 20 standard amino acids. Silk obtained from the silkworm is also a kind of protein. This is for your general information. Now here is an activity to test the presence of protein in any food item. For this, our requirements, the things needed are small quantity of food items such as egg white, test tubes, water, copper sulfate solution and caustic soda solution. These are the things required for testing protein in particular food item. Here we have taken egg white. Procedure: prepare copper sulfate solution by dissolving 2 gram of copper sulfate in 100 ml of water. Copper sulfate solution you can prepare in the laboratory by dissolving 2 gram of copper sulfate into 100 ml of water, as you can see here. Prepare caustic soda solution by dissolving 10 gram of caustic soda in 100 ml of water. 10 gram of caustic soda is dissolved in 100 ml of water to obtain caustic soda solution. Take a small quantity of food item to be tested for the presence of protein. Put it in a test tube and add 10 drops of water to it. Suppose we have taken the egg white. Here you can see we are adding 10 drops of water to it. Then it is shaked well. Next, put 2 drops of copper sulfate solution and then put 10 drops. Copper sulfate solution, only 2 drops were added to the test tube, and 10 drops of caustic soda solution were added to the test tube. Now the test tube will shaken well again and allow the test tube to stand. You should not disturb the test tube for next few minutes. If the violet color change takes place, means if there is if the food item changes to the color violet, it indicates the presence of proteins in that food items. And you can repeat the above mentioned procedures in different food items to test the presence of protein in different food items. Up next, we have fats, the next nutrient which is present in the food. Fats are also energy giving food. They provide more energy as compared to carbohydrates. Sometimes when we are short of carbohydrates, our body uses the fat stored under the skin of our body to maintain the supply of energy. That is why fats are called the secondary sources of energy. This stored fat also keeps our body warm and acts as insulator. You must have seen the animals living in polar region, the polar bears. They have a thick layer of fat under their skin, which keeps their body warm and help to survive in the extreme cold conditions. Fats, whatever fat is intaken, it gets accumulated under our skin. So, it keeps our body warm, it provides more energy than carbohydrates. But eating too much fat-rich food is not good for us as it leads to obesity. As I have said, that the whatever fat is intaken from the various food items, it gets accumulated under our skin, and excessive intake of fat can lead to obesity. Obesity, it is the condition in which the body weight increases, the blood vessels become narrower. This makes the blood vessels narrower, which causes high blood pressure and problems related to heart. Sources of fat. Fats can be obtained from both plants and animals. Plant sources: brown nut oil, sunflower oil, mustard oil, coconut oil, other vegetable oils, almond, cashew are the some good sources. These food items are very much rich in fats. Animal sources: meat, fish, egg, milk, butter, cheese, cream, ghee. These all are rich sources of animal fats. Next, we have activity. The activity to taste the presence of fat in food items. For tasting presence of fats in various food items, the requirements are, the things needed is a small quantity of food items such as butter or almonds, a piece of paper. Procedure: take a small bit of food item. Suppose we have taken butter. Wrap the food item in a piece of paper and with the help of a crusher, crush the food item. If you have taken butter, you can rub that butter on the paper. Observation: now straighten the paper and observe it carefully. When you have rubbed the butter on the paper, after straightening the paper, what is your observation? If there is an oily patch on the paper, it is due to the fat present in the food item. Try to put the paper with oily patches towards the lighted bulb. If you see the light faintly, the food item contains fat. Means when you will try to look through that paper which is now greased with the butter, you will see a faint light coming out of it. You can see a faint light through it, and this indicates the presence of fat in that food item. In case there is no oily patch present after crushing the food items do not contain fat in it. So this is the activity for tasting the presence of fat. Up next, we have vitamins. Vitamins are complex organic compounds called the protective foods. Vitamins help our body to fight against the diseases. It helps to increase the immunity. Immunity is the shield. It is the system working in our body which detects the entry of any harmful bacteria or germs and help our body to fight against it. You must have experienced that if you are suffering from cold and cough, this cold and cough recovers after 3-4 days automatically. This happens because our immune system is working on that bacteria or the pathogen which has entered our body through various sources, either by food, either through air, by breathing or respiration. The body fight against that bacteria and develop immunity against it, develop a system which is now able to stop the causing of flu. This is called immune system, and the food items rich in vitamins help to better our immune system. That's why food items rich in vitamins are also known as protective food, because they help to get our immune system better and protect us from various diseases by fighting against them. These are very essential for our body but are required in less quantity only. They are essential for normal functioning of our body. They keep our skin healthy. These are the various functions of vitamins in our body. They keep our skin, teeth, nervous system, bones, digestive systems healthy. Most of the vitamins are supplied through food, although some are produced by the body. These are absorbed into the bloodstream and excess amount is thrown out of the body. Vitamins are of two types on the basis of their solubility. Solubility means in which they dissolve, in which they mix well. So vitamins are either water soluble vitamins or vitamins are either fat soluble vitamins. These are the two categories of vitamins. See, here in the picture given, some of the sources of food, various vitamins and their functions in our body. Vitamin A. Vitamin A, we can get vitamin A from spinach, mango, carrot, papaya and milk. Function means vitamin A helps to maintain normal night vision. It is very much essential for good eyesight. Good eye, it is very much essential for healthy vision, and it promotes the growth. Vitamin B, it is found in peas, milk, banana, grains and beans. Vitamin B is essential for the growth. Lactation during pregnancy. Lactation during pregnancy means if a woman is feeding her breast milk to her baby, this process is known as lactation, and for proper lactation, proper feeding, proper production of milk inside the body, vitamin B is required in proper quantity. It is also essential for formation of healthy blood in the body. Vitamin C, it is present in amla, lemon, orange, tomato and guava, means all the citrus fruits. Citrus fruits means which taste sour. It keeps our teeth and gums healthy and prevents a disease called scurvy. It is a gum disease. It is a disease related to gums which is caused due to the deficiency, which is caused due to the lackness of vitamin C in our diet. Vitamin D, it is present in milk, butter, egg and sunlight. Now you can say how sunlight can be eaten. No, sunlight cannot be eaten, but when you are in the exposure of sunlight, the body absorbs that sunlight and produces vitamin D inside the body. So sunlight is a rich source of vitamin D. When your body is exposed to the sun, because of the sunlight, the body synthesizes vitamin D inside the body. That's why you must have seen the newborn baby, after oiling, after massage with oil, they are left in the sunlight exposure for few minutes. Even during in the summer season and in the winter season, they are left in the exposure of sun for long hours for getting the production of vitamin D, for the synthesization of vitamin D in their body, so that they could get proper and good bones. Vitamin D is required for normal growth of bones and teeth. It is required for healthy bones and teeth. Vitamin E, it is found in spinach, tomato, butter and sprouted moong. This maintains the normal reproductive life. Vitamin K, it is present in cauliflower, cabbage, tomato and egg. It helps. The vitamin K is very much essential as it functions for the proper clotting of the blood. Clotting means when you experience any cut or wound, there is a bleeding, but you must have seen that after a few minutes that bleeding stops by its own. This happens because vitamin D, which is present in the blood, helps the blood to get thickened. This is called clotting of the blood. So if there will be lackness of vitamin K in our body, in the case of bleeding, it will not able to get clot, the blood will not able to get clot properly, and it may cause to loss of life because of excessive bleeding. So vitamin K is essential for normal clotting of the blood. Up next we have minerals and salts. These are the chemical compounds required for growth as well as for carrying out certain body functions. Minerals perform important functions such as strengthening of bones and maintaining a normal heartbeat. Minerals are required for healthy bones and normal heartbeat. For maintaining healthy bones and teeth, we require calcium and phosphorus. Some other minerals are magnesium, iron, iodine, zinc, copper, fluorine, sodium, potassium, etc. And like the vitamins, these minerals are also required by our body in a smaller quantity. Sources. These are present in all leafy vegetables like spinach, pulses, eggs, milk, fruits, common salt, what we are using in our kitchen, millets and nuts. Means minerals are present. These food items are rich source of minerals. Next we have water. As you know children, 70% of human body weight is made up of water. Water is present in all body cells. Water sustains the life processes. When you will feel dehydrated, means when there is lack of water inside the body, you will feel fatigueness also, you will feel dizziness also. So water is important for all sustaining of all life processes. Water is essential for removal of waste products, transport of materials within the body and to maintain constant body temperature. So we are required to take 6 to 10 glasses of water every day so as to keep ourselves healthy and to maintain all the life processes in a healthy way. It acts as solvent in which all chemical reactions takes place. We also get fluorine from water. Whatever the tap water we are getting at our home, it is rich. The dissolved mineral fluorine is there, which is essential for healthy teeth. Now here is an activity. It is the aim of the activity to show that most of the vegetables and fruit contains water. And to perform this activity, following things are needed: knife, tomato, orange, cucumber, potato and tissue papers. Procedure: take a fruit and cut it into small pieces. Now keep these pieces in a tissue paper. Repeat the process in each of the fruits and vegetables, whatever fruits and vegetables we have taken. Observation: you will find that all the tissue paper with the pieces of fruits and vegetables become wet. This proves the presence of water in fruits and vegetable. Up next we have fiber. Fiber are also known as roughages. Apart from the above mentioned nutrients we get from our food, we need to have some more essential components in our food. These are called dietary fibers. These are called dietary fibers. The dietary fibrous content of our food is called roughage, which prevents constipation. Without roughage, food cannot be digested to our body because this roughage adds a bulk. This roughage adds extra pressure on the food so that it could pass through our digestive tract very easily and helps in proper digestion of the food. That's why roughages are also essential for proper functioning of our digestive system. It passes down the entire digestive tracts, helps in preventing constipation and ensures proper bowel movement. Not only this, many doctors believe that high fiber diet reduces the risk of heart diseases and bowel cancer. As you know, children, when there is lack of vitamins in our body, what happens? The blood vessels become narrower. They becomes narrower so that the blood could not able to flow easily. But the food items rich in high fibers, it reduces the risk of heart diseases as it unclogs the narrowness. It helps in the proper movement of the food. Sources: salad, fruits, corn, skinned grains, raw vegetables. Skinned grains means not polished grains, the skinned grains. Raw vegetables, these are the rich sources of fiber. Next topic of discussion is a balanced diet. To keep healthy, one needs all the nutrients in optimum quantity. Optimum means it should be neither less nor high. Means the amount should be appropriate according to the requirement of our body. Only one kind of food cannot provide all the nutrients. Yes, if you are eating only food items rich in carbohydrates, means your body will be getting carbohydrates only, not the other nutrients. So only one kind of food cannot provide all the nutrients required for our body. If we eat only the junk food such as burgers and cold drinks, then very surely we may get fats and sugar, but not the other nutrients. This can lead to obesity and diabetes or other heart problems. Therefore, a diet contains all the essential nutrients in correct proportion required for our body is known as balanced diet. Means the diet should contain all the nutrients required for our body in a appropriate amount. A balanced diet should contain the following: energy giving food means the food item rich in carbohydrates and fats. Bodybuilding food means the food item rich in proteins which help our body to grow. The protective foods, the food items rich in vitamins and minerals which help to develop a better immunity system and to fight against the diseases. Have you compared the amount of food eaten by you and your parents? Who consumes larger quantity of food? Think about the kind of diet the new babies have. They take only milk. So why do these differences in diet exist? A balanced diet is not the same for everyone. It depends on climate, age, sex means either male or female, health and the type of nature of work a person is doing. A hard working laborer, the farmers or the laborers, these people need more energy which they can get by eating more fats and carbohydrates. Therefore, the people who are engaged in labor works, the farmers who are doing a lot of physical activities are required to take food items rich in more carbohydrates. A child grows very rapidly. For this reason, he needs more and more proteins in his diet. As explained earlier, that growing children require rich amount of food items rich in more proteins so that they could attain a good average height. A person recovering from long illness need more protein rich food. As I have already explained that proteins help our body to develop. It helps to repair the damaged cells and develops the new cell. It helps in the formation of new cell. Therefore, a person suffering from long illness needs more protein rich food. A nursing mother and a pregnant woman also need more protein rich food so as to serve the needs of the growing baby. Besides human beings, all other animals also need the balanced diet for their proper growth. Animals also need the balanced diet. Next topic of discussion is disorder in diet. If there is disorder, if you are not following a proper diet plan, there will be disorder. And what are the disorders caused due to improper diet plan? These are obesity. Carbohydrate is very much essential nutrient, but eating too much of it may lead to ill health. Most of the carbohydrates are converted into fat and get deposited in the body. As I have said, the fat intaken, most of the carbohydrates, it get converted into fat and the fat is accumulated under the skin. So excessive intake of fat can lead to obesity because this is a condition in which the body weight increases. People become overweight and this condition of the body is called obesity. They never remain active and generally suffer from heart problems. And this obesity can be cured by doing exercises. Means if you are eating carbohydrates and fats, you need to do exercises so as to burn the calories, which could prevent the fat getting accumulated under the skin and which would reduce the risk of obesity. Malnutrition. Malnutrition means when there is lack of any kind of nutrient, it results into disorder, it results into diseases caused due to the deficiency or the lackness of that particular diseases, which results in detaining of the growth of the proper health and maintenance or growth of the body. Also the bones become weak, the skin, the texture of the skin, the color of the skin also changes. So these all are the resultant of malnutrition. While it is important to take food item rich in various nutrients, you must also be aware that lack of certain types of food can cause some disorder. This disorder is called malnutrition, means the disease caused due to lackness of particular nutrient in our diet. Deficiency diseases. Diseases that are caused due to lack of carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins or minerals in the diet are called deficiency diseases. Means these diseases occur in our body due to lackness of particular nutrients like carbohydrate, proteins, vitamins or minerals. These are called deficiency diseases. These diseases are non-communicable. Non-communicable means they do not pass from one person to another like the other diseases like the cough and cold. It passes from one person to another, but deficiency diseases are non-communicable. It do not pass from one person to another. So here is the table showing various deficiency diseases which are caused due to lack of these nutrients and their symptoms in our body. First one is carbohydrates. Because of the deficiency of carbohydrates, our body suffers from a deficiency disease called marasmus. In this disease, the growth is stopped. If a child is suffering from carbohydrate deficiency disease, that is marasmus, the growth of that child will be stopped. Body is very thin and weak. There will be loss of energy and stamina. Means these are the symptoms. Through these symptoms, you can recognize whether a child or a person is suffering from any kind of deficiency diseases or not. Proteins. Because of protein deficiency, Kwashiorkor named disease is caused in our body. And this, what happens? There is a swollen stomach, thin legs and ugly patched skin. Fats. Fats. Due to deficiency of fats, marasmus is caused and the symptoms are itchy, fatigue, dry skin. There will be joint pain, depression also and inability to concentrate. Means person will not able to focus or concentrate or anything. Vitamin A. As I have said, vitamin A is very much essential for good vision, good eyesight. So lack of vitamin A causes a disease called night blindness. In this disease, the person suffering from night blindness is not able to see properly in dim light. And these are the symptoms: dryness of eyes, improper vision, eye infection, etc. Vitamin B. Deficiency of vitamin B causes beriberi. There will be loss of appetite, means the body weight will decrease at a rapid rate. Heart abnormalities, pale skin, means the skin color will be yellowish. Irritation in the eyes, and there will be frequent headache. The person suffering from beriberi will suffer from frequent headaches. Vitamin C. Disease caused is scurvy. In this disease, there will be bleeding gums, poor appetite, and there will be skin disorder also, means the person will suffer from various skin disabilities. Vitamin D. Rickets. The bone becomes soft, they become fragile. Pigeon chest, means the chest cavity, the rib cage will become that of the pigeon. The rib cage will get deformed. Aging and lung problems. Vitamin K. Hemorrhage, means excessive bleeding from any injury. As I have said, vitamin E, this is important for proper functioning of the reproductive system, and deficiency of vitamin E leads to reproductive disorders. There will be premature aging. Iron. Deficiency of iron leads to anemia. As you know, children, it is because of the iron, the hemoglobin present, which can synthesize, which can produce red blood cells. So if there will be lack of iron, there will be less formation of red blood cells, and it leads to a condition, medical condition called anemia. A person looks pale and tired. There will be loss of appetite, means the person's weight decreases rapidly. Iodine. Because of iodine, there is a goiter. In this case, in this disease, there is enlarged thyroid gland in the neck. The thyroid gland which is placed in the neck, it gets swollen up. Calcium. Because of the deficiency of calcium, rickets is caused, and the symptoms are bones become soft and bent, teeth become loose, and loss of enamel, teeth enamel. The teeth enamel, as you know, children, it is the hardest known substance of the body, human body. So when there will be lack of calcium in the body, the tooth enamel will become softened, and it will be easily get attacked by the bacteria. Phosphorus. Decay of tooth and erosion of bones, means bone and teeth becomes weak. Sodium. Due to deficiency of sodium, there will be tiredness, and it could lead to muscle cramps. That's why you must have seen an athlete suffer from cramps when they are running or when they are doing their sports activity, because they are suffering from dehydration. They are not taking water in proper amount. This dehydration leads to deficiency of sodium inside the body, and this deficiency of sodium leads to muscle cramps. Deficiency of potassium leads to paralysis, means weak muscles of the body. Fluorine. Deficiency of fluorine leads to tooth decay. And chlorine, that is pyrrhia. Pyrrhia is a condition in which there is a toothache, the tooth is attacked by the germs, and there is a cavity. There is a yellow sticky substance called plaque also get deposited on the teeth. Next topic is how to maintain the food quality. Cooking of food. Eating the right kind of food is not enough. It should be also cooked properly so that the nutrients are not lost. As you know, children, while cooking, many of the nutrients get lost. So almost all types of food are processed in some way before they are eaten. Suppose you are taking the potatoes. Suppose your mother is preparing vegetable of potato. When she will be washing the potato, after peeling it, all the nutrients of potato will get washed away in the water. So it is advised to clean the vegetables before cutting. Advantages of cooking. Food is cooked to make it easy to eat, digest, and to kill the germs. Disadvantage: although cooking is useful, but at the same time it is disadvantageous as well as as well in the following ways. Let us see how. Cooking results in the loss of certain nutrients. Many useful proteins and minerals are lost if excess water is used during cooking and is then thrown away. Suppose while cooking, excess water is poured for making it soft. When this excess water is thrown away, most of the proteins and minerals get washed away. Vitamin C gets easily destroyed by heat during cooking. Some of the important nutrients such as ascorbic acid and folic acid, that vitamin B, which are susceptible to oxidation, are readily oxidized by brisk cooking also. Brisk cooking means on slow heating also. Minerals are also affected by high temperature. In some cases, flavor may be lost by brisk cooking. Excessive cooking may also cause an adverse effect to the digestibility of the vegetables. If vegetables are cooked in excess, vegetables are cooked for excess amount, all the nutrients get dissolved, they get cooked away. So here is a quick summary of the chapter what we have read till now. Carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals, water and roughages are the various components. These are also known as nutrients. Carbohydrates and fats are called energy giving food. The excess sugar in our blood result into a disease called diabetes, and India is also known as capital of diabetes patients. Proteins are known as bodybuilding foods. It is the tertiary source of energy, means the third source of energy. It is not so important, but in absence of carbohydrates and fat, it also provides energy to some extent. Vitamin B complex and vitamin C are water soluble vitamins, means vitamins are categorized into two categories, fat soluble and water soluble. So vitamin B and C are water soluble vitamins. Vitamins and minerals are essential for normal functioning of our body. They are called protective food because they help our body to develop better immunity system and to fight against the diseases. Vitamin A, D, E and K, these are fat soluble vitamins. 70% of our body is made up of water. So it plays a very vital role in the proper functioning of all the body system. Our diet must contain adequate and right proportion of all the food components so that we could get the required amount of nutrient, means the appropriate amount of nutrient required for our body. Deficiency of protein can cause kwashiorkor, and deficiency of fats and carbohydrates cause marasmus disease. These diseases occur in children basically. Night blindness, beriberi, anemia, scurvy and rickets are the vitamin deficiency diseases, means these diseases occur in our body due to the absence or lacknesses of vitamin in our diet. Rickets, goiter and osteoporosis are the mineral deficiency. Osteoporosis is the disease in which the bones become soft and fragile. So rickets, goiter and osteoporosis are the mineral deficiency diseases. Hope you have understood the chapter well. Please follow the instruction given to you during the online classes and complete all the assignments provided to you. Thank you, children.